Hey guys, it's your girl Mwii, and I am back with another video for you guys. So this is episode 2 of Getting Your Itch Together, and the first topic that we're gonna be touching on is friendships. So I had 2 Instagram poll questions. Actually, before I even get into that, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Mwii Smith channel. Welcome. Welcome. Comment down below how you came across this channel. Like, did a video just pop up for you? Did a friend share it to you? Did you see it on Instagram? Like, let me know how you found me. Other than that, if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Trying to grow the Just Fam. That's what I call my subbies over here. We have a good time over here on Just Fam, on Mwii Smith. So be sure to subscribe. Okay, so let's get into this video. We're going to be talking about friendships. So I posted 2 questions on my Instagram. Asked 3 things that make a good friend. What are 3 things that make a good friend? And how do you handle disrespect from friends and family? Okay, so 3 things that make a good friend. So I asked a bunch of people actually put in their insights, and I also asked a bunch of people like what makes a good friend and like what makes them a good friend and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the responses and touch a bit on like what really became popular, because out of the responses there was a common phrase that was being thrown out there that I noticed. So the first response that I got was loyalty, honesty, and understanding. I really like these ones. These are really, really good qualities to have in a friendship, because you need someone who's loyal. Like, you need someone who's going to ride for you. Like, you need someone who's going to support you. You need someone who's going to be there. You need that loyalty. You need that sense of loyalty that where you don't even have to worry about if something had to go wrong, because you know that person is always going to be there, or that person got you. Loyalty is a powerful thing. Honesty. You definitely need honesty in a friendship, because you need to be able to be real with your friend. You need to be able with your real and be like, girl, you didn't do your makeup good today. Let me help you. And not even in a way like you feel like they'll take it the wrong way. No, the honesty where it's like you can say it, and even if it stings and it hurts their pride, they'll still take it like a woman or take it like a man and be like, you know what? I hear you. Let's do this. Teach me how to do my makeup so that I can actually look as bomb as I feel, because I'm a badass, you know? So you need that honesty in your friendship, and also not just in friendship, even in relationships. You need that honesty, because if that honesty isn't there, it's going to be difficult to communicate, because honesty makes communication just flow that much easier. Because if you already have that good communication, honesty has to be a strong part of it, because how are you having good communication if all you're spitting is lies? That's something that needs to be, you know, questioned. Like, look at your friendships and really look at things and situations. Like, how many times did that friend actually lie to me about something that they really shouldn't have lied about, you know? Honesty is something that's really important. And understanding definitely is something that for me I have, but I still have a long way to go. And it's like, understanding comes with experience a lot of the time, because most times you don't have to go through everything to understand someone else, but you do have to go through certain things to gain some understanding. And I have gone through some certain things in life, and I have gained a lot of understanding. But that's tea for another story. Let me continue into some of the other responses that I got. So another response that I got was loyal, transparent, honest, selfless, loyalty, support, and understanding, more money, more money, more money. trust, loyalty, reliability, loyalty, a listening ear, and maintaining same energies towards each other. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did say loyalty almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Loyalty was said 5 times. And that's pretty interesting because a lot of people believe in loyalty, but these days, especially with everything that's going on right now, a lot of people aren't seeming to be loyal. And it's somewhat sad because loyalty is such a beautiful thing. Loyalty is what builds families. Loyalty is what builds connections. Loyalty is what makes businesses and firms stand stronger, because when you're loyal to something, you always come back. I mean, the most loyal thing that I could think of is a dog. Like, dogs are pretty loyal. Dogs are, if you're fortunate enough to have a dog or ever had a dog, dogs are pretty loyal if they get to know you and are familiar with you or have that connection with you. And that's something to admire. So loyalty is something that obviously is very, very important. And I would say I'm a pretty loyal person. Like, I would say a lot of these things that were said out here is qualities that I have and I'm proud that I have. And they are qualities that some I did have, like, from when I was born, because I mean, I'm popping or whatever. But others I did definitely have to learn through, like, hard situations, like through, like, tough times with friends, through, like, tough times at home, tough times in life, at school. And life, what I've come to realize, that I have no regrets in anything with life, even in friendships, that may have turned sour and people just cutting you off left, right, and center, or me having to cut off people left, right, and center. I don't regret anything because everything works out for my good. Everything works out for your good. Like, everything in life happens for a reason, and it's to help you grow. And every single situation, because if you look at it now, at the stage that you're at now, and you look back, because, like, I'm looking back at, like, times my dad yelled at me over, looking back at it now, stupid things, but, like, back then I thought it was the most important thing, and I actually even remember the emotions that I put into it. But it's like, I learned those emotions, and now it's like, in certain situations where, if it's a situation where I have to be super, super strong, I kind of go back and remember a time where I was probably so embarrassed, and it's like I had to hold that embarrassment because I wasn't in the wrong, but I was placed to be in the wrong, and I just had to hold my truth. And it's like, now I kind of know how to stand up for myself, because I was in a situation where I didn't have the opportunity to stand up for myself because I didn't know. But having experienced that situation, now I know how to stand up for myself. And that's the crazy thing about life. That's great. So let's talk about, how do you handle disrespect from friends or family? This is a topic that kind of touches home, and that's why I kind of even threw the questions out there, because I really wanted to see how other people have handled, like, disrespect from friends and family. Because, child, I have got the fair share of the disrespect sometimes, and it's crazy because I am quite a respectful person. Like, I'm not the most respectful person I know, but I'm pretty close to the most respectful person I know. So for the disrespect to just come and in hits that don't make sense, I just had to ask the people, like, how do you guys handle it? Because sometimes I have handled it, like, tried to handle it, and sometimes, most times, my version of handling it is just leaving it and ignoring it and never dealing with it again. And if we decide to talk again and it's awkward, then there's no mending that. Other than that, I'm down to have the conversation, but if the energy seems very negative on the other end, I'm gonna leave them to simmer and brew in their sad thoughts. response. Okay, so let's go into what you guys said about disrespect. So the first response I got was taking one deep breath before responding. This is really, really good, and this is a really good practice that I need to really highly implement. Not that I'm ever put in situations where I blow my top or I'm stressed out where like I feel very frustrated and can't express my emotions. That barely happens to me. But definitely if the situation is a bit tense and I am feeling a bit frustrated, I definitely need to practice keeping my breath like regular, because I do get a bit anxious. So taking this deep breath before any giving any response is a good little tip. Usually just cut them off. Usually just cut off disrespectful people. This is something that, like I said, this is something that I usually do. If I find someone is really like just not making any sense to me, like the way they talk, the way they respond, like the way they're just moving, it's like they're just moving in madness and confusion. I'm not trying to be a part of that. So you can stay over there. Like you can move. I'll be over here. I really don't need it. So usually, yeah, I just cut them off, and it's like it depends the situation. Sometimes it's crazy because like if you're living with the person, it's like, how do you cut off someone you live with? It's like, okay, at some point you have to kind of become cordial, but it's kind of like just kind of distancing. It's like I don't really. It's not like I don't fuck with you, but I fuck with you. But it's like I'm gonna keep my distance, but we can still chill once in a while. But it's like I'm gonna still keep my distance. Like I'm still keep to me, which is totally fine. But you kind of have to still end up having the conversations because you still have to let people know how you need to be treated, which goes into the next response that I was given, which is speak up, set the tone of how you want to be treated, which is totally true. You really need to teach people how to treat you and how you need to be treated, because at the end of the day you're the one who knows what your needs are and how your needs need to be met. So when you really do the hard work and the homework of going inside your heart, figuring out what like your different needs are, like seeing your emotions, because feelings are connected to human needs. So most times, if like an example is if like you're feeling anxious, but it's like your human need is like you have a human need for safety and security, but that's why you feel like anxious most of the time, because you don't feel safe, that safety or security. And it's like until you feel that safety and security, that feeling of anxiousness will go away. So definitely speaking up and setting the tone of how you want to be treated is such an important thing in friendships and families. Next response is communicate your feelings to friends that you keep in touch with, which is really good because obviously when you're keeping in touch, it's very important to like keep like connected with your feelings so that other person is like in tune and like is in the know of like what's going on with you at the moment, instead of like having to question like, oh, why is she acting like this, you know? But it's like if they already know what you're feeling and what's going on, then that's gonna help the connection build stronger. And then the topic that I think will be its own video is families tricky as a black child or African child, because respect for your elders seems to not account for if they're in the wrong, which is really, really true, and which is something that I am also learning. But I feel like the one thing that comes with that respect is also communication, because if you are in communication with your parents, which you should be because they are your parents, is basically just letting them know and just keeping them in the know of not necessarily everything that's going on. I mean, essentially that's what the ideal should be, like let them know everything that's going on. But sometimes some parents aren't necessarily comfortable discussing certain topics with their kids because they never really prepared to talk about certain topics with their kids. But it's like if their kids are adults, it's like their kids also are going through that stuff. So it's like at some point you have to give in. I mean, when are you gonna, you know? But it's a learning process for everyone. It's a new thing for everyone. Definitely it's a new thing for me. I'm very used, not to say I'm secretive with my parents, but I was a personable person as well. Like, I would tell them things, but like, I am like, not everything that I've been through do they necessarily know. And eventually I'll get to the point when I'm comfortable enough to talk about it with them, and I feel like they'll be comfortable enough to receive what I have to say. That conversation will come. But for sure, in the African household aspect, respect is really a big thing, and I find a lot of like my friends and like people who have been around, especially before I came to Canada, we definitely did have like an issue and still have this issue of the respect being held higher than the emotions of the actual child. So it's like a parent will end up harming a child in a way that the child can't really express the emotions, and like that's how I find a lot of my peers end up having to suffer with depression and anxiety because they can't really have that safety security net with their parents, which is really unfortunate. But that's a video for another day. Don't want to dampen the mood with this. It's quite a damper, but it's a topic that that has to be said. I'll probably have to organize it with a couple of my friends. I don't know how to do it, but I will do it. Okay, so another response that I got is I address it once. If nothing changes, I block them out to protect my peace. Which is a really nice rule to set the tone. Giving someone one chance and that's it. Some people find that harsh, but quite frankly, it's your energy and you can choose how and in what way you want to share it. If you want to share it for 5 minutes, share it for 5 minutes. If you want to dedicate and spend your energy and time towards someone for 5 years, do it for 5 years. At the end of the day, you can pick and choose at which moment you can withdraw your energy from something or put your energy into something. Energy is all dependent on you. So these were really, really good responses. Definitely some of them I will start putting into practice. But comment down below what are 3 things that you consider important qualities in a good friend, and how do you guys handle disrespect from friends or family? Because I know not everyone who watches me here on YouTube follows me on my social media, which is fine, but if you do have social media, be sure to follow me. My socials will be in my description box below. But comment down below how you handle disrespect from friends or family. Like, how do you go about it? How do you have those discussions? Do you even have those discussions, or you just avoid them, or do you wait until it like kind of blows up and you just blow up? Like, how do you go about these things? Anyway, I will see you guys in my next video. Be sure to share this with your friends. Be sure to share my channel with your friends so they can subscribe and be a part of the Just Fam. And I will see you guys in my next one.